This is for bit 2406. We're doing a little bit of chapter 9. Just going to talk through what I know about problems, I guess 25, 26, 27, something like that. So I don't know the context of the problem. I'm just going to explain what's going on with these matrices, how they're getting these values, and all that. So I'm assuming you're sort of given this matrix right off the start, and they're starting by summing up each column. So they're summing up that column to get that, they're summing up this column to get that, and so on and so forth for every single one. So now, just kind of focusing our attention on these two matrices here. This column is coming from taking this number divided by the total, this number divided by the total, this number divided by the total. Okay, so they're doing, that divided by that, that divided by that, and that divided by that. And they're doing this for each column. So for column B, it's the same thing. This divided by that, this divided by that, and that divided by that. So they're doing that for A, B, and C. Okay, and then once they have this filled out, then they average each of the rows. So this value right here is it's the sum of these three, and then you divide it by 3. So you're finding the average of each row. Okay. Something to add. These are the normalized matrices because each of the columns have a sum of 1. You can see it down there. Sum of 1, sum of 1, sum of 1. Normalized typically means something to do with the value of 1. So in this case, it's the sum of the columns are 1. Now, they just repeated this process for all 4 of these here. So from here to here, here to here, here to here, for the location, cost, and social aspects of this problem, they created the same thing. The big thing we are taking away from these matrices are the row averages. That's the whole point of doing this stuff here. Now, we kind of reset, and we're looking at this different matrix here with the academic, location, cost, social on both the rows and columns sort of axes here. But they do the same exact thing. They find the sums of each of the columns. They transfer this into a normalized matrix by doing the same thing. They take this value divided by the total for every single cell in here. So they get this normalized matrix, and same exact thing. They find the row averages. So they add these up and divide by 4, because now there are 4 values that are playing into the total. So they get these row averages. That's the important part about this slide here. Now the ranking is where it all comes together. So you might recognize these values, these values, these values, and these values from these values, these values, these values, these values, respectively. Right? Let me make sure I have that right. Yeah, 65 or 653, 251, 096. We see those right here, and all the other ones, should match up. These values should be the ones from the previous page, right here, 3146, 3146, and so on. So then, the final sort of scores, how they're scoring each of these colleges, is by doing essentially like the sum product. It's basically taking so for this first one, it's taking this times that, plus this times that, plus this times that, plus this times that. You're multiplying this matrix by this column. It's a little bit of linear algebra work, but it's this times, yeah, I won't go through it again. But then to get the next one, very similar, it's just this row times this column. And the third one is this row times this column. And so the whole purpose of that is to give you a score for the college. And the idea is the highest score, the college with the highest score, will tell you what to choose. So our pick in this case is Barton College. Okay. I'll try to ramble on what I know about CI. I've already forgotten what it stands for. So maybe I won't go into it, but let's see. Looks like they're just multiplying this matrix times this preference vector. Is this the same? I think that's that, yeah. And they're getting these values. Okay. And then 3 divided by 2. Is that legit? They're doing that divided by that. Okay. And then they're averaging them. Yeah. So the average of all these, and then they're taking that divided by the quantity, so divided by 4, just the number of criteria that there were. There was the academic, location, cost, social, whatever. So they took the average divided by 4, and that gave us this value. Again, I can't remember what it stands for. I might have that backwards here. Hold on, give me a sec. Oh wait, no. Hold up. No, I mixed it up. I'm sorry. So the idea is you take this, you subtract the 4, then you divide it by 3 because there were 3 colleges. Okay. And then this they've gotten by doing what? They just took that and divided it by 0.9. Yeah, I'll be honest. Don't know where the 0.9 came from. Kind of, falling apart this last bit here. But a big part of Chapter 9 is just doing these calculations that I just went through. So I figured it was worthwhile making a video for it. So hope this helps. If you have questions, let me know. All right.